Hello there. This is I've just finished watching New Japan Pro Wrestling New Beginning in Osaka, which took place on the 11th, which was 2 days ago. Started watching it yesterday, finished it today. Overall, it wasn't great, that's for sure. I can't remember. I didn't actually watch the Osaka show last year. I watched the Hiroshima from start to finish. No, I didn't. I watched the Osaka show, and this wasn't as good as last year's. Actually, in fact, it wasn't even close. The main event of this show was incredibly underwhelming. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like 2-star bad, but it was incredibly underwhelming. It wasn't my match of the night either. I think I gave that to the IWGP tag champ match, which was the semi-final event, and that'll probably piss some people off. I thought the IWGP junior title match was pretty. I swear, then I'm not gonna swear. It was pretty crap. I don't see the appeal in that match at all. They've had some good ones, like that style, the junior spot stuff. They've had some good matches. This wasn't one of them, that's for sure. It was rubbish. It wasn't anything in it at all. A bunch of moves. Goodness me. Anyway, let's get on to the match. Let's get on to the matches. I'm gonna try and get through this undercard quick because there was nothing worth of note at all. So straight up, you have the two young lions, Tanaka and Yohei. Komatsu. These are the only two really young lions in their business. The dojo is a skeleton. There's no psychology in this. It's pretty drab. Some stiff forearms at the start. 6 minutes, I think, went for quite short. 1 star. Next up, we have Captain New Japan Manabu Nakanishi taking on Dorada and Tiger Mask. This match sucked even more than the first one. Nothing. There was no build up to Dorada's flip thing, whatever you call it. Not much at all. He got a roll up in Hirosawa, so Hirosawa just keeps getting buried. I gave this 3/4 of a star. Next up, had no interest in this match either. Had no interest in the first couple of matches. Also the first one because of the young lions. I was interested in that one. So this is the Chase Owens, who's terrible. Rob Conway, who isn't much better, taking on Tenzan and Jushin. Conway brings something different to the match. He has an interesting look, and he has some charisma, and he does have that. Whereas Chase has no charisma at all. He is nothing personified. I've seen him in 2 matches, and he doesn't bring anything to the play. There's nothing there. Conway was good. I thought he sold pretty well. His entertainment style selling is alright. His stuff for Tenzan was good when he stole his signature, the Mongolian chop, and then Tenzan gave it back to him. That was good. This is essentially pretty well a hype match for the 2 title matches that are on the next show. Actually, Chase's finish. He had a pack. It's like a package bomb. I thought it was a doctor bomb. That might be different. I think I looked up. It's called a package bomb. That looked really mean, and he got the pin on Jushin, I think. So that's a hype for tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yeah, that's when the event's on. But apart from that, Chase didn't bring anything to the match. I gave this 2 stars because it was still alright. The segments between Conway and Tenzan were good. But next up, we had the match that I was looking forward to and that everyone was looking forward to. Yeah, Tomaoki, Honma, and Kota Ibushi. This was obviously a good match, not great. Not quite 4 stars. So this match definitely, in my opinion, should have been up the card higher. I'm not sure why it wasn't. I don't understand what booking's thinking here. These 2 guys are totally over. Honma is completely over. I don't know why they didn't put it up the card. And because of the fact that it was lower on the card, they weren't going to steal the show. They're loyal. Honma's a loyal dude. He's not going to steal the show. So they're not going to put in a great match. Why not put this at the semi-final or the quarter-final? You know, it probably this match probably meant, you know, this match meant more to me than the tag titles. That's for sure. It meant more. Well, I suppose semi-final was the tag titles, quarter-final was the Shinsuke tag. So it maybe not. Maybe, or why not fourth? You know, fourth from the top. Anyway, so so the first 2 to 4 minutes were great. Both guys went for their high impact moves early and they didn't pay off. Honma went for his headbutt series of times and he missed, but then I think he eventually got it. It looked, you know, it was a nice little build up. Then Ibushi, he went sort of heelish on him and he kicked him, and then Honma brought some really good heat. He gave a little fight back, and that was good. And you know, it brought the heat and the crowd liked it. The next few segments in the rising action stage of the match were really good. Some innovative and also some familiar things coming off. Timing for the spots were great. Honma's timing in particular impressed me in this match in this respect. I mean, he is a great worker, and he should be given a bigger push. And this match is really evidence of that. The events in the rising action of the match centered around both workers going for some high signature impact moves, and they kept missing. So the near misses, and it was good. And Honma, as I said, Honma missed a lot of his headbutts, but it's still, I don't think he got one off the top rope. But this match needed more of a finish, and you'll probably find that this was a common issue in these lower card matches, that a lot of the matches just didn't have a finish, or they had a finish, but the build up in the rising action and the introductory segments weren't very good. It just seemed to be cut short. Because of that, I just can't give it 4 stars. I mean, you can have a short match, like a 10-minute match, and I'll still give it 4 stars, but it just needs finish. And this didn't have it, so it's 3.5 stars, which is disappointing. I love these two guys. Yeah, so there you go. Right, next up we had the IWGP Junior Tag Title match with reDRagon, who are the champs, taking on Young Bucks, taking on Time Splitters, Shelley and KUSHIDA. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm sick of these matches, but I'd like to see someone else in here. This has been going on for a while, these three. It's, you know, it's getting on. Yeah, obviously this is going to be a spot fest. Was it going to be a great spot fest? You know, there's not really any such thing in my opinion. I mean, there are matches that are spotty and really good, but they have some psychology as well. And I'm referring to KUSHIDA and Ricochet from the Best of the Super Junior last year. That was awesome. Like, they had fantastic psychology. Like, had some crazy spots, crazy high spots, blah blah blah. But it was good. This wasn't good. That was just move after move with nothing. Alright, transitions were quick, which isn't bad, but there was just no psychology. I didn't find any of this compelling. I had to rewind this a few times just to sort of try and understand what they were trying to do. But as I said, like, it was okay, but it wasn't 3 stars. That's crazy. I gave this 2 3/4. Alright, next up we had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Title match. I wasn't looking forward to this either. Taguchi doesn't impress me, and he never really has. I thought this match was actually better than the Wrestle Kingdom one. So there you go. From what I can remember, I didn't mind this match. I thought it was pretty good. I thought there was some good build up for the finish. A missed finisher by Omega fitted in well. I think he went for because of the shock. No, he used to a shock chair. It's not called that anymore. He puts him up and he puts him on his back, his neck. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, there were issues in this, as obviously. But the match had some kind of finish, so it's almost the antithesis of the Ibushi Honma match. So I gave this 3 1/4. So there you go. Right, next up we had Bullet Club, Fale, Tonga, and Yujiro Takahashi taking on the Chaos Stable, Okada, Toriyano, and Kazushi, and Sakuraba. He's not part of Chaos. So this match looked like it belonged to the Hype House shows. Not much in this. Pretty well just get Okada over to give him some credibility in his little thing that's going on with Fale. So basically, I think they're doing this Fale thing to get Okada over and transition him back into the title scene. Tonga did okay with the time he had. He put Okada over, I think. Which makes sense, because Fale's having his little thing with him, so they're not going to have Fale putting him over I think they're done with getting Okada to put Fale over. So Tonga should be a dude that just walks out with a stable, and he shouldn't be in the ring. He shouldn't be in the ring. He's not very good, really. I don't know what Sakuraba's doing at the moment. Him and Suzuki had his thing, and they rubber match, and he's just sort of hanging around, I think. I don't know what's going on there. I gave this 2 stars. Nothing special at all. Right, next up we had other members of Chaos: Shinsuke, Tomohiro Ishii, and YOSHI-HASHI taking on Satoshi Kojima, Tetsuya Naito, and Yuji Nagata. So, it's a common theme now: decent matches with no extended finish. Understandable. It's still the undercard, but now we're getting to the back end of the undercard. We need to see, really start seeing these matches being pumped out. I mean, this is a pay-per-view. You know, it needs to be better at this stage, I think. So what happened in this match? What do we have? They had Kojima and Ishii doing a forearm fest competition thing. The crowd liked it. Some people don't like it. I don't mind it. I don't. Why not? I mean, the wrestling's about macho dudes trying to tough each other out. So why shouldn't they have stuff like that? Goodness me, what's wrong with you people? Yoshi was pretty hopeless, and I think he was carried by Naito at the end. And Naito got the booze again. They probably need to turn him heel soon. I don't know, do something with him, because he's getting a bit stale. Yuji Nagata probably stood out, and he should be. He's a veteran. He's good at this stuff, and he had his little thing with Shinsuke, and he's also being in line for the IC title shot. So that's good. Rightio. Next up, the semi-final: Bullet Club, Gallows, or whatever, and Carl Anderson taking on the champs Hiroki Goto and Shibata. Rightio, I'm giving this 4 stars. Tremendous finishing segment. Everything in this match made sense. It's a smart wrestling match because it makes sense, which is more than I can say in comparison to the junior tag title match early in the night. It makes sense and it's logical. Rightio. Gallows, I can't remember what it is. Anyway, Festus. We'll call him Festus. How's that sound? He almost ruined this match, in my opinion. With he has impeccably bad timing. Some matches is okay. This one, his timing was impeccably bad. He's nothing in comparison to Giant Bernard. I wish he was still around. He was a good worker. This guy is okay, but he's not good. Shibata's late comeback, although ill-fated, ultimately was tremendous, because he was the fresh dude. He'd come in and he tried to fight both the dudes off after Goto had already been pummeled, and he couldn't do it. So he had that fighting spirit, he just couldn't quite do it. It was good that Goto didn't make the save towards the end because he had been pummeled. So very compelling stuff. The finish was good. I liked how, as I said, Shibata did the fight back. That was good. Could have had more stars if it wasn't for Gallows, pretty much. I think if Gallows wasn't there and it was someone else who can work a bit better, this would have got more. I don't know why. I would have liked the belts to have stayed on the fighting dudes, Goto and Shibata, because I like them better for starters. I love Shibata. He's a fantastic worker. But it just made more sense to keep it on them, and they maybe moved on to a different segment and have sort of these Chaos stable start to fizzle out. But it doesn't look like that's happening. They're pushing them even more. All right. So, and interesting with titles, because there's no point in having titles on guys that are already over. You put straps on guys that aren't over, and you want them to get over. And to be fair, for the bookers like Gato or whoever it is, Goto and Shibata are pretty well already over. So giving them the titles, I don't know, it's like a waste of time on it. So you want to give the guys who you want to get over. And would you say Gallows and Anderson are over? Well, I don't know. Probably not as much as Shibata and Goto. But as I said, they need to push them even more. They need to push them to the upper echelons, the ace of the universe type stuff, particularly Shibata. Goto's had his chance, I think. mean, I'm not sure how old he is. I think he's getting on, and he probably hasn't got much longer. But they need to push Shibata. I mean, he's the guy. He's one of the guys that I really like. Alright, next up, the main event. The IWGP Heavyweight Title Championship. AJ versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Alright, this match. Meltzer gave it 4 stars. I've seen someone else, some other random reviewer, give it 4.5 stars, which I think is really dumb. It's nowhere. This match is nowhere near 4.5 stars. The opening segments were great. Nice, slow build up, building the psychology. Great introductory segment. The conflict becomes explicit to the audience. Then Tanahashi bleeds hard way, and I think he knocks himself out pretty badly. Ever since then, ever since that moment, the match was lost, I think, and it was just so slow. I mean, at that stage of the match, the momentum needs to be built up, and they start to work into the finish, that Styles Clash stealer move, and they tried to do that, but then Tanahashi tried to do it off the middle rope, I think, and then Styles kicked it, got out of it, and then that was it. It was over. There was nothing to do with an angle, unless they're going to do more with this, this little feud the feud that Styles is having with Tanahashi. That was just a waste of time. The fact that Tanahashi did that sideways high fly flow onto all the members of Chaos, I mean, it's dramatic and it's good, but obviously it didn't work out in the end because he blew himself out. You know, it's one of those things. You know, you go for the high risk stuff, but is it worth it? Not really. He probably didn't need to do it. He could have still wrestled, perfectly good match without doing it. And then again, I don't think the Bullet Club members need to be out there. Just Styles can just come out by himself, or bring, Tonga, make Tonga like their manager, because she's a gammon wrestler anyway. So, yeah, this match had huge issues. Tanahashi himself didn't sell particularly well. The match, the key events of the match were, what was it? And they did like a few holds and stuff at the start. They did well. Tanahashi had the upper hand. That's right. He kept it. He was outsmarting Styles at the start with his moves. Then Styles missed his big drop kick, and then Styles got it. And they both went to the outside. And then Tanahashi went to do a senton somersault type thing, and he missed and landed on his back. And then they went back inside, and Styles kept giving him back slam moves, and Tanahashi was selling it. And then all of a sudden he makes a comeback, and then he goes for another senton up the top rope, lands it, and doesn't sell it. And it's just like, well, come on, man, you've just been slammed 10 times on your back, and you're not selling it. So that's bad. And I've been reading people I'm talking to, the guys that aren't huge, and they like Tanahashi. Like he pretty well saved the Puroresu, but there's a lot of issues in his matches, and this is probably a good bit of evidence to get to get this thing across that he does have issues. He's not perfect by any means. So I'm giving this match 3 3/4 stars, only because I like the start. It was a good start to the match, and as I said, after that hard way, he went for the high fly for the top rope, and he lands on all the Chaos members, and they all sell it, obviously, because that's what they do. That's what happens in this thing. And he has a head clash with one of the Jackson brothers, one with the black and the brown hair, I don't know his name, and he bleeds hard way, because you can tell he doesn't keep bleeding. The blood starts pouring out when he's in the ring, and then it stops. I think if it's a blade, it keeps bleeding. So after that happened, they tried to bring it home, and they couldn't. The crowd wasn't invested at all. They really struggled to get the crowd involved. They didn't shift gears. They couldn't shift the gears to bring it home, and that's why. I want to give this 4 stars because of the start, but they just didn't shift gears. They couldn't do it. And in the end, Styles just won with the Styles Clash. There was one little segment of build-up, but it wasn't compelling at all. So 3 3/4 stars. So solid show, but not a great show. It was alright. I enjoyed it. A few matches I'd rewind to watch again, particularly the junior match, the junior title match. I'd rewind it like 5 times just to see what was going on. It's just so many things going on at the same time. Alright, so that's that. Like what you will, whatever. See you later.